Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. Atmavandan everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to read a chapter from the Compassionate Buddha book by the very learned AnandMurti Maa. We're on a chapter that's entitled Chapter 9, called The Beauty of Faith. It is quite a short chapter, so we may go on to the next chapter as well. So we'll read the chapter first, and then we'll have a short meditation, and then we'll have some time to reflect and look at the key learnings today as well. Chapter 9, page 83, Beauty of Faith. You are but a reflection of the divine, a mirror reflecting his divinity. He is your life force. Your very heart beats to his tune. Just do your karma and don't worry about the fruit of the actions. Why, oh why, do you look for any external support, when you are the oceanic expanse and the horizon? When the Lord himself is our guardian, our supreme benefactor, showering us with his grace and mercy, and furthermore residing right within us, what is the need to look for any external support elsewhere? See, this is all about feeling, the depth of your feeling. Experiencing may be out of my reach, but if I want, I can certainly feel that is within my remit. However, to feel this way, one requires a great deal of faith, unquestioning belief, and conviction in the presence of the divinity. In this context, I narrate this story. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 3 sons. He was undecided on picking the right heir to the throne. He went to his master for help, as he wanted to be sure he made the right choice, i.e. someone who had a philanthropic disposition and would look after the welfare of all the people living in his kingdom. The master said, "Give each of them a pigeon and ask them to slaughter the pigeon in such a place where no one can see them." The first prince returned in a matter of half an hour, carrying a dead pigeon in his hand. He said that he didn't have to go far. He just shut the doors and windows of his room and swiftly snapped the pigeon's head. The second prince returned by afternoon. He too was carrying a dead pigeon in his hand. He said that he didn't want to take any chances, so he rode off to the forest where no one could see him, and there he quickly killed the pigeon. The third prince, however, didn't return until 2 months. Moreover, the pigeon he was carrying was still alive. On asking, he replied, "I first went to the forest. However, there were other animals and birds there that could see me. So I went to the bank of a river. However, the fish in the water could see me. I then went into a cave, but there too the bats and insects could see me. I finally found a cave that had no life form, but when I turned to kill the pigeon, his eyes were focused on me. He was seeing me. I felt as though the bird was pleading for mercy, saying, what have I ever done to harm you? Why kill an innocent creature?" So I tied a cloth around his eyes, but I realized there was still a pair of eyes watching me, my own eyes. Finally, I tied a cloth over my own eyes and was about to kill the pigeon, when I realized that the Lord was watching me and there was no way I could prevent him from seeing me. In order to find a place where the Lord doesn't exist, I roamed around asking sages, reading scriptures, and I soon realized that the Lord is everywhere and resides within me too. How could I then hide myself from his discerning eyes? Needless to say, the king had found the right heir to the throne. The king freed the bird and hugged his son. The king said, "My beloved son, what compassion, what love and benevolence fills your heart. You realized that nothing is hidden from the Lord's eye. And moreover, your thinking about the Lord, seeking the company of the sages, has already transformed you completely. When you went, you were but dust, covered lump of coal, but you have returned as a polished diamond. I have found that ideal heir to my throne. If you have this unshakable faith in the universal presence of the divine, of the presence of his heartbeat within your chest, how can you ever feel lonely? This may sound harsh, but in my opinion, only fools have the need to go to temples. Because for a devotee, for a lover, his own body, his own mind has become a temple. The one who cannot see his own being as a temple, only such a person has the need to seek in external temples. Gurbani says, the one who sees him here, what need does he have to seek there? With feeling, put your hand on your heart, and while becoming conscious of the heartbeats, feel that it is the Lord residing within you as your heart beats. What is life without feeling? Any prayer, any mantra chanting, done without feeling, without sentiment of devotion, is worthless. Someday, stand in front of a mirror and look carefully. Who designed this face? Who is seeing the face in the mirror? Who is the source behind this seeing? Who is behind the shine in those eyes? Likewise, there is no point in having a beautiful body when the mind is full of afflictions and bondage. Beauty can never be skin deep, as illustrated by some mythological characters like Shubri. It is said that Shubri's body was unsightly, ugly. She went through an arranged marriage ceremony wherein her groom had not seen her prior to the marriage. When the marriage party was returning to the groom's home, in the night they took a halt on the way. The groom was eager to get a glimpse of his newly wedded wife, and so sneaked up to her and lifted a veil. On seeing her face, he shrieked in horror and ran straight to his father, refusing to accept her as his wife. Seeing his son's vehemence, the father decided to leave the bride in that place, and they all left quietly in the night. On waking up in the morning, she realized what had happened and why it had happened. She was struck by intense grief on her plight and couldn't even return to her maternal home due to the immense sense of shame. Then the sage Mutnang gave her refuge and took her to his ashram. Living at the ashram, she got involved in the spiritual environment of the ashram, the discourses and the spiritual practices. As she progressed and evolved spiritually, she realized that no matter how hideous her body was, it was nevertheless a creation of the Lord. How could any creation of the Lord be ugly? In due course of time, when the sage was about to breathe his last, he told Shubri that she would be blessed by Lord Sri Ram at that very ashram, and that she should patiently wait that glorious moment. And as predicted, after waiting for several years, Lord Rama came to the ashram. In fact, he chose to pay her a visit rather than visiting the well-known sages of those times. As soon as Lord Rama saw Shubri, he said, "Oh, beautiful Shubri, I am so elated to meet you." Shubri replied, "Oh Lord, you too are making fun of my awful looks. Just look like the rest of the world has always done." Lord Rama said, "Shubri, do you really regard beauty as skin deep? Do you think beauty refers to this superficial cage of the body? The one who has relinquished all bondage to this world and is in complete devotion and love with the divine, that person is beautiful. You are beautiful." There is a similar incident narrated in the life of Lord Krishna. There was a woman called Kubja, hunchback, whose body was disfigured. When Sri Krishna met her, he said the same thing, appreciating her immense beauty. When questioned by Kubja, he replied, "Those who call you repulsive couldn't see what I am seeing. I can see pure love and intense devotion within you, and that makes you the most beautiful. You are the reflection of the divine. So how can you be far from the Lord? It is his power that is enabling you to see, to walk, to talk. Where is the question of going anywhere to meet him? For you are already with him. You can only meet someone who is away apart from you. But where is the question of meeting the one who is within you? He is not far from you. All you need to do is drop this illusory veil of I, me, and mine. He is you. But how can you experience that if you are hell-bent upon keeping a separate, albeit false identity of I, me, and myself? Swami Rama says, as you are, so am I. As I am, so you are. Hence, there are no desires, no urges, and no aspirations left for anything, for nothing at all. I am the I, and I am also the you. So what difference does it make whether I say I or you? Hence, there are two ways. Either squash this I so that only you remain, or else expand this I to such an expanse that it encompasses you. When there is no I, nothing is mine, not even this body. When nothing is mine, where does the question arise of saying, how will my mind be in peace? Instead, the feeling should be, it is your mind, so it is up to you whether you want to keep the mind peaceful or distressed. Where there is a question of saying, when will I get liberated? When there is no I, when there is no mine, everything is yours. Then, wherever you give the liberation or keep in bondage, it is entirely up to your will. Why should I worry then? When nothing is yours, where does the question arise of worrying about anything at all? Why see yourself as being separate from the Lord? Even if you want, you can't be separated from the Lord. Don't get entangled in mere words. Quieten the deafening noise of words and thoughts. Kabir has said, until mosque alone were all debates, once arguments got silenced, all answers came from within. Be still inside. Call it stillness, emptiness, or indeed anything else. The moment the stillness happens, then nothing more needs to be done. Nothing at all. Okay, chapter 10, Beyond the Boundaries of Words. Look towards moon. Our eyes can meet over the moon. O moon sitting at a distance, go to my beloved's land. Give message to my beloved. Why do you keep me separated? What fault have I committed? Prana should never be separated from the body. First you injured me with your love. Either give me medicine or death. What kind of dervish are you? My beloved lives in my heart. Only you or I can know what the pain of love is. One should never desert one's beloved. Don't give message of infidelity to anyone. O moon sitting at a distance, go to my beloved's land, give message to my beloved. I wrote this poem when I used to live in a hut in a forest in Rishikesh. It was a night of full moon, and I was on the terrace. I was remembering my master a lot. I knew that he would be on the terrace too, as he seldom came down, and I thought that maybe his eyes too were beholding the beautiful moon, and the moon would pass on my sentiments to him. This is indeed a quaint and queer path. How can the moon know who is watching it, and what influence it has on the observing person? But there is a deep relation between the moon and the human mind. In the language of Vedanta, the moon is referred to as the god of mind. Just as the moon fluctuates in size, the mind too keeps on fluctuating. There is waxing and waning of the moon, oscillating between full and new moon phases. The moon oscillates, and given its capricious nature, the mind too vacillates. The only difference is that full moon and new moon occur with a rhythmic regularity, whereas the full moon and new moon of a human mind can happen at any moment. Human mind is so fickle it can change at any moment, and it changes so fast. that this rapidity of change must even embarrass the moon, as it can't match this pace of change of the human mind. You may be surprised to know that the effect of the moon on the human mind increases manifold on a full moon night. This can either be beneficial or adverse. The psychologists have now accepted that the incidence of mental agitation and psychotic episodes increase on the night of a full moon. Likewise, on a new moon nights, there is increase in the tendency to worry, get depressed, feel under the weather, or feel anxious. Earlier, it was only our sages who regarded moon as the god of mind. But research has now convinced even the scientists about the connection between the moon and the mind. Our Vedantist rishis had labelled the moon as the god of the mind. The sun is regarded as the god of eyes. Some people might regard this as a mere foolishness. However, if you see it from a scientific point of view, light, brightness, colour, and eyes are linked with each other. You need the eyes to see light and colour. A blind person has eyes but can't see that part of the life force. In Hindi, this is called netra jyoti. Required to see is not functional. However, even a person with sight cannot see any colours in the dark. You can see the colours only in the presence of light, as epitomized by a rainbow. So it entails that eyes, light, and colours are linked with each other. Likewise, the moon and the mind are linked together. On a new moon night, the mind can easily go into a state of depression. Tantra, a system of ritual practice or spiritual discipline encoded in Sanskrit text called Tantra. The language of these texts can be deciphered only by those who have received initiation, goes as far as saying that spiritual aspirants need to be cautious, careful on a new moon night, as there is an increased chance of the mind wavering from the spiritual path, descending into previous habits or addictions. On the contrary, a full moon night is very beneficial for a spiritual aspirant, as the positive vibrations increase, aiding the efforts being taken on evolving inner awareness. As I have said earlier, Buddha was born on a full moon night. He attained liberation on a full moon night, and he left his body too on a full moon night, all falling in the month of May. This is not a mere coincidence. These nights were voluntarily chosen by him. Only the enlightened one can exercise this choice. The one living in the darkness of ignorance has no choices. This is just as a warden can move about freely in and out of the prison, but the prisoner doesn't have this freedom, does he? Likewise, the enlightened one can choose where he wants to be born and at what time. Not only this, he can also decide which moment he wants to leave this body. In more recent times, I'm aware of a similar choice exercised by Swami Vidyananda Saraswati. He had planned a day to leave his body, but meanwhile he got a message from one of his disciples who was scheduled to arrive at the Swami's ashram that day, but couldn't as he had fallen ill. On getting this message, the Swami cancelled his scheduled day and time to leave his body, and instead took a train to visit the disciple at his home. He spent some time at the disciple's home, and later returned again by train. On his journey back, he decided to leave his body in the train itself. So he wrote a message for his disciples in the ashram that he had decided he didn't want to wait any longer, and jotted down the time he was leaving his body. Later, the train officials found him dead and were startled to read his message that had clearly stated the date and time he had chosen to leave his body. Buddha chose the full moon night for his birth, for his enlightenment, and for departing from his body. And in this world, Buddha is the only one who was born, got enlightened, and died on the same day. And not only did these three events happen on a full moon night, it wasn't just any full moon night, it was a full moon night occurring in the month of May. Meditating on the moon at around 9 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. using the Trataka method, gazing with unblinking eyes, can produce amazing results. The breathing should be slow and deep. It is especially useful to do this practice when the mind is restless, agitated, or depressed. Soon all the agitation, depression will dissolve, leaving you with a peaceful mind. Do try this experiment whenever you feel distressed, providing, of course, that you remember what I have said at that time. A medicine is of no use, only one can get it when one needs it, otherwise it is useless. The external events occurring in our lives make such an impact on us, and the mind takes in all these impressions, even if it doesn't want to do so. Why? Because the habitual reactionary pattern of the mind is age-old. So, even if you don't want, the mind becomes agitated, disturbed, troubled. I get so many letters in this context. One person living in the US was so distressed when he lost his job and he had to return to India. Another person said that his whole life had turned upside down with the death of his father, whom he had idolized his entire life, and so on and so forth. If you think carefully, you'll find that we invite problems and troubles in our lives. There is a lot in our lives that is beyond our control, like birth and death. Why then get distressed about events you can't influence, you can't change? Generally, people justify their agitated or depressed mental state by quoting external factors or reasons: death of a near and dear one, loss of a job, diseases, etc. These are nothing but a facade. If one were to put this to scrutiny, it would become apparent that all the distress and upheaval is because one simply doesn't know how to live in equanimity and harmony. You don't know how to live without harbouring any expectations. How many expectations you have, not only from others, but even from your own self. And are you able to fulfill even what you expect from your own self? You say that you want to live happily, but are you able to do so? No, because you yourself are responsible for pushing your happiness away. And when you don't have any control of your own self, how can you control others? The heart of the issue is that all your life you harbour an endless string of expectations and the compulsive need to control or change others. Everyone is doing this to each other. The parent wants to control the child, the wife wants to control the husband, the mother-in-law wants to control the daughter-in-law, and sometimes the students are trying to control their guru, and the guru is trying to control the students. Driven by the irrepressible ego, everyone is hell-bent upon proving their might over others. This I is indeed a very strong identity that one has held for a very long time. In fact, innumerable lifetimes. Everyone wants to live as a master. No one wants to be the servant. One husband-wife had a fight. A lot of verbal abuse exchange occurred. Finally, the woman lifted a stick as she was stronger than her husband. The poor chap hid under the bed. The woman hollered, "You better come out." The husband replied, "Why should I? After all, I am the master of this house." Master and hiding under a bed. Once a king thought, "Am I the only person who is afraid of my wife, or is every man the same?" He asked his ministers to make an announcement in the kingdom that whosoever is not afraid of his wife should come forward, as he would be rewarded. No one came forward, not even the king's ministers, let alone the ordinary people, for they knew that if they lied to the king, he wouldn't hesitate in punishing them by death. So the soldiers were made to go and search in the villages. They came across a bodybuilder. The bodybuilder wanted to know what all the fuss was. The soldiers narrated the whole story. On hearing that there was a reward, the bodybuilder said, "Well, your search is over. Look at my muscles. The whole world is afraid of me, let alone my wife." The soldiers asked, "Oh, good. Which horse would you like to ride back with us, the white or black one?" The bodybuilder promptly asked his wife, "My dear, which one should I choose, the white or the black one?" Everyone wants to be the greatest, the leader, the master, but no one wants to be the follower, the servant, the slave. This disease of I is indeed the greatest affliction. But why does everyone want to be the master? This is because the master of the master, the Lord, resides within us, and we are not separate from him, the Lord, hence the habit of being the master. A devotee of Sri Krishna says, "I am but a devotee, a servant of the Lord." So he sings, "Dasa oham, dasa oham," which means, "I am the servant, das." As the love deepens, the bond with Krishna deepens. Now Krishna was said to be an incorrigible thief, so he came and took away the da from the hymn. When remained in the ode was soham, soham. Then Krishna takes the so, and what is left is hum. Eventually Krishna takes away the hum too, but the devotee still chants Shivoham, and this is no ordinary hum, I, it is the mighty I of Shiva. Neither mantra nor pilgrimage, neither guru nor disciple. I am superconsciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. But as long as he continues to say Shivoham, he is still stuck. The day this I also dissolves, that will be the birth of the real you. When asked, "Who are you?" the devotee initially says, "I am the body." As he delves deeper, the answer changes to, "I am the witnessing soul." With further contemplation, the reply changes to, "I am the witnessing Brahma." When the devotee has finally reached the pinnacle of spiritual evolution, there is no reply whatsoever, absolute silence. And in that pristine silence, there is no room for any expectation, any desire, any longing, and only a supreme calm prevails. The mind's perennial thirst can be quenched only by a drop of this nectar. As long as one doesn't taste the nectar of this calm, the thirst of this mind will remain unsatiated, constantly seeking sensory gratification, fulfillment of an endless list of desires and recognition. Gurbani says, "O mind, there is no nectar in anything other than the Lord, and as long as you don't get this nectar, your thirst will remain unquenched." If a thirsty person starts to drink seawater, will that quench his thirst? Likewise, the mind needs to stop seeking in the wrong places for quelling its thirst, and instead should connect to the Lord, for that alone will satisfy it. Nothing else can. Now you see where your mind is running to quench its thirst, towards the nectar of the Lord, or the salt water of the external world. One drop has satiated my thirst of many lives. Ravidas is sitting in a palanquin of love. True, one has met the truth. Bliss is unexplainable. As I remember, beloved, fire of yearning wrecks my body. As a piece of sulphur burns when water is sprinkled, one drop of love has burned me all. Listen to prayer of Ravidas. May I never forget you as breath. May I remember you always, leaving behind all worldly stress. One drop of love has satiated my thirst of many lives. Walking, sitting, moving, I always meditate on you. Ravidas says, "You reside in me, O Lord. I always am in meditation. One drop of love has satiated my thirst of many lives. And this nectar is not only there, is not out there, but right within you. That is the irony, so close, yet so far. The veil of ignorance prevents one from seeing this pearl of wisdom within. Instead, one clings fiercely to this false sense of I and equates this I to the body. Isn't it strange that a man is living with a borrowed identity? He doesn't recognize who he really is and believes his identity to be that what is not. We are not the body, but we believe so firmly that we are the body. Isn't that strange, to say the least? I get countless letters asking me, when will I get Samadhi, eighth and last stage in Patanjali's Eightfold Path of Yoga, the state in which union with the Brahman is achieved? When will my Kundalini, feminine energy seen as a mystic coiled force at the base of the spine, awaken? Well, let me ask you first. Buddha says, know your body to be impermanent. Have you known your body to be impermanent? Has your subconscious mind stilled? Do you have the weapon of pragya? Alas, despite listening to the Master's words umpteen times, I'm not this body is perishable. The essence held in these words still doesn't sink in. There is no disturbance here in this hall. You can hear me clearly. You are not sleeping, I hope. But still, why are you not connecting to what I have been saying? It is like the words simply bounce back after hitting the thick rhinoceros skin. How to break this barrier? To break this barrier, Guru Nanak Dev said, there are two things required. One is selfless service, seva, and the other is simran, being in remembrance. He said meditation comes later. First, efforts have to be taken to break the barrier of the mind. However, the key word in seva is that it is by definition selfless, not driven by the ego. Ego and seva cannot go together. Seva can only happen when the ego is dropped. Hence, seva is the most difficult thing to do, for it is most difficult to drop one's ego. I remember an incident from the life of Guru Amar Das. Once his wife urged him to search for a suitable groom for their daughter. He asked her what qualities she wanted in the boy. She replied that he should be like the young handsome chap who came every day to sell boiled chickpeas in front of the Gurudwara. The Guru sent for him and asked him about his family members. The boy replied that he lived with his grandmother, who was a follower of the Guru's teachings. Guru Amar Das asked him to get his grandmother to meet the Guru. When she came, the Guru asked her whether she would accept the proposal of his daughter for his grandson. The old lady was so happy. She had never dreamt that one day she would liaise so closely with the Guru. She was, however, surprised that the Guru had chosen her grandson and asked him what virtues had he seen in her grandson. Guru Amar Das replied, I don't know about virtues. All I know is that the inspiration to choose him has come from the Lord. I am just simply acting on that. And it is that simply he got his daughter married. Unthinkable in these modern times. As you know, son-in-laws get special treatment in Indian families. But perhaps this was the first time that instead of the bride, groom's eyes welled up with tears. You have made me worthy of you. No one would know. I was helplessly empty. You took compassion on me. Mercifully, you took me in and made me meet my master. Nanak lives only if thy name is with me. My mind, body have blossomed with it. The boy, Jetta, was both ecstatic with joy and yet filled with deep humility for the grace showered on him by the Guru. Even after marriage, he remained his simple self and a dedicated disciple, sweeping the floors and serving the Guru in every possible way he could. Times changed, and this time the Guru was looking for a suitable successor to the Guru lineage. Yet again he chose Jeta and none of his sons. Jeta, who was later called as Guru Ram Das, was filled with immense gratitude. His heart welled up with tears on the honour bestowed on him by his beloved Guru. His words are filled with such love and humility when he says, "I was a mere insect, and my Guru put this insignificant insect on his seat, on his pedestal. I have no words to express my feelings, for I was but a pitiful poor man, a mere vendor on the streets, and here my master has bestowed such honour, such trust." Guru Ram Das's words should resonate with you. After all, how many of you treat your servants with respect? You are ready to shout at them, verbally abuse them at the drop of a hat. You don't have any qualms on spending thousands of rupees on your clothes, but have no shame in haggling for mere 5 rupees with the poor rickshaw driver. Indeed, man worships money. Who will respect you if you don't have money status? But here Jeta received the grace of his master and he became Guru Ram Das. But even after becoming Guru Ram Das, he remained Ram Das, humble as ever. When Guru Amar Das left his body, Jeta took the seat as Guru Ram Das. But his humility and attitude of service became even deeper than before. In his heart, he remained a disciple, selflessly serving others with no trace of ego left. After all, he had the great responsibility of looking after the clan of none other than Guru Nanak Dev. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Babaji, Lord Buddha, and Guru Anand Maa. Deep, deep gratitude. Okay. Okay, kindly sit in the meditation position now. Take off any glasses if you're wearing them. Sit upright with your feet crossed. Clasp your fingers into fingers, and gently take 3 deep breaths and expand your stomach and hold. So nice deep breath. Hold and out through your mouth. And again, nice deep breath. Hold and out through your mouth. And again, a nice deep breath. Hold and out through your mouth. Now be in the here and now. Do not worry about the past or the future. Just focus on each breath as it comes in and out. Feel totally at peace, at ease, and feel the total calmness. And as you take each breath, feel yourself as if you were on Mother Earth, as the divine light that you are, but this time as a bright light. You are on a beautiful, beautiful green lawn, beautiful green grass. And you see yourself as a light, but you're crawling in the form of a beautiful caterpillar. And you're munching away on the beautiful grass, feeling totally at ease, totally at calm. And you're happy as you've got everything you need. You've got the beautiful sunlight basking on you, making you feel warm The light is nice and bright and soothing on you. You've got plentiful of food with the amazing grass around you. And also, as it rained recently, there's lots of sprinkles of pearls of water around you. So as you're nibbling on the grass, you're taking in some water, you feel happy and content. And as you're slowly crawling around on the grass, gradually, as you're taking each bite, you feel all your worries drifting away. You feel totally in peace and harmony. There's no pain in your body whatsoever. You feel light as a feather. You feel content. You feel oneness with nature that's surrounding you. You're taking in the beautiful, beautiful smell of Mother Earth from the mud below. And the beautiful grass smell that smells so uplifting and divine. And as you're munching away, you hear the birds chirping in the background. And all the other insects running around you, minding their own business and letting you be. You feel totally at peace and one with Mother Nature. How blessed you feel. Your life is complete. You have everything you could ever wish for. What more could you ever possibly want? And as you're munching away, you feel yourself transforming, changing gradually. Every second, you seem to be changing. It's as if God's making you into a cocoon all around you, protecting you, hugging you, and you're surrounded by this beautiful, beautiful spun of cocoon that's surrounding you. And you feel totally at peace, at ease, as if Mother Nature is taking control and helping and supporting you to reach your soul purpose of what you should really be. You've totally surrendered yourself to the Supreme Almighty because you have full faith that whatever is happening for your good. You've totally surrendered and accepted the change that's happening within you. And you're one with the change. You're not battling against anything. You're not hitting your wall against anything. You're saying total surrender, acceptance. Whatever the Lord wants is going to happen. And as this cocoon starts to grow, you seem to be changing, transforming inside and out. But you have no idea what's actually happening around you. Your beautiful, beautiful caterpillar body is changing every second, every minute. You're growing and transforming, both physically and spiritually. You feel there's a bigger calling. You feel as though you're being uplifted. Every second counts. Every single breath of ours is priceless and precious. And now, as you lay there on the grass, you feel the sunlight is no longer there. And instead, the bright moonlight has come out. So although you can't see the moon because you're in this cocoon, you can feel the brightness of the moon, making your mind feel totally calm and peaceful. You're one with the cosmos, in alignment, in total surrender to the Almighty. Your I has dissolved. You are one with the Supreme Being. And you go into a deep, deep sleep. A deep sleep that you've never ever experienced before. But you're still alert. So although your mind is sleeping, your soul is still awake and alert, conscious of the changes happening every second. And now it's dawn, it's sunrise, as you can feel the brightness of the beautiful golden rays of the sun and the heat of the sun on you. And you actually close your eyes for a second in within, and as you open your eyes gradually, you look at yourself and you are no longer the same caterpillar that was sleeping just the day before. You have totally gone through a process of metamorphosis. You have become this beautiful, beautiful, radiant, shining, glorious butterfly. All of a sudden, you're no longer heavy like the butterfly. You're not hungry anymore. You feel at ease and light. And as you break away from the cocoon and spread your wings, you look up to the Almighty and bow down in deep gratitude, because now you have reached your soul purpose from being a caterpillar to a beautiful, beautiful, super, super colourful, amazing butterfly. And you're able to fly from flower to flower through the grass, through the beautiful plants and trees. You have become one with the Supreme Being. You can fly high wherever you want. You're in total surrender and you feel light as a feather. How beautiful do you feel you are? And you are beautiful because the supreme divine light that resides in the divine also resides in you and me. We are one with the supreme conscious being, the Almighty, the light that is within all of us is within us. And we are that beautiful, beautiful light, now as this butterfly, able to fly high with the wind and the sun and feel the pearl drops of rain on us. We are totally, totally free. Nothing is tying us down, and we are one with Mother Nature. Now, as we're flying, almost like a kite, as a beautiful butterfly going everywhere, high and low, through the clouds, we can hear the birds chirping, and they're flying with us, giving us company. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. How grateful are we? Super, super blessed. Now let's show our gratitude for Mother Nature, for this experience of transforming from being a heavy, heavy caterpillar to now being a beautiful butterfly with your head held high and you feel light as a feather. So deep, deep gratitude to all our ancestors for all their teachings, their comfort, their love, to our parents for giving us this beautiful, beautiful body that can transform just like the caterpillar can, to all our gurus for giving us this knowledge and this spiritual upliftment that helps us become one with nature and become one with the Supreme Divine Being. Deep, deep gratitude to all our scriptures, all our books, all the knowledge that we're being so, so blessed to be able to absorb and put into practice. Deep, deep gratitude to all the 5 elements for helping and supporting us with every breath that we take. Deep, deep gratitude to the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, Mother Nature for her love and warmth and providing us with everything that we need. Deep, deep gratitude to our family and friends, our colleagues, our workplace, our homes. Deep, deep gratitude for everyone in our lives and every single thing in our lives. We are so, so blessed to be in the here and now, to take this divine knowledge and day by day grow, just like that caterpillar, into a beautiful, beautiful being of light, full of wisdom and knowledge, and yet selfless, without ego, and helping and serving others as we take this journey towards spiritual upliftment and reach our soul purpose. Deep, deep gratitude to Lord Buddha for giving us this light and showing us how we can be compassionate, loving, and kind in every way possible. Deep, deep gratitude for Guru Maa for taking the time, energy, and effort to give us these beautiful stories and lessons through every chapter in the book. Deep, deep gratitude to the whole cosmos, the whole world, for giving us such a beautiful, beautiful planet with all the different planets, the forests, the oceans. We are truly, truly so, so blessed. And deep, deep gratitude for all our five senses and this human body that we are so, so blessed to have, as we can experience the pure divine energy from the divine being within us. And we can become one with the supreme divine being by following the scriptures and the knowledge that we're attaining. Deep, deep gratitude to you all for sharing your divine energies today and helping to help us transform together as beautiful, beautiful butterflies that we all are now. So gradually come back to your bodies. From having been a butterfly and a caterpillar, you're now the divine light that resides between your eyebrows. You're totally at peace, totally calm, and joyful and happy. And with a smile on your face, gently rub your hands, cover them on your beautiful, beautiful eyes, and let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently open your eyes with your hands still on your eyes, and let your eyes absorb the beautiful light energy that we've just received. Take that energy in and spread that beautiful rays of energy all around your face, your head, ears, neck, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands, upper chest, stomach, thighs, knees, legs, feet, and feel totally, totally one and total, total surrender. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Babaji, Lord Buddha, Guru Maa, and all our divine masters of being here with us during this amazing session. And deep, deep gratitude to you all as well, dear masters. Thank you, thank you, thank you.